Howdy friends, Crazy Jason here, and it is time finally for my Dollar Tree Blu-ray haul. And as the title indicates, I'm going to be discussing bargain versus crap throughout the haul. But in general, what I mean by that is, just because it's a Blu-ray and it's only $1, should you buy it? Should you buy every Blu-ray they have to offer, no matter what the movie is, just because it's $1? My short answer to that is no, but we'll talk more about that as I get into my haul. I only have 7 Blu-rays here, but I also have 2 DVDs because they've gotten in some really excellent titles on DVD. Also, after some sad news. I was not able to find the Ernest movies. I know. Crazy, why are you sad that you couldn't find the Ernest movies? Well, because, I just can't bring myself to buy them for $8 or $5, but they were a part of my childhood. I can remember when I was a kid, we had a VHS tape of all of his early commercials, because he got his start in North Carolina and South Carolina, going around and doing these local commercials for like car dealerships or local businesses, and this tape was like a compilation of all those old commercials, and I watched it over and over again, and I thought it was extremely funny. Of course, if I watched it now, I'm sure my face would be like that. And then, of course, he branched off into movies. And when I was a kid, I really enjoyed Ernest Goes to Camp. I haven't seen it in years. I've heard that one doesn't hold up as much. I've heard Ernest Scared Stupid holds up. And I know that Ernest Goes to Jail still has some laughs, because I saw that about 5 or 6 years ago. And, of course, Ernest Saves Christmas used to be kind of a holiday favorite that I haven't seen in years. But anyway, let's get into the haul proper. Now, these are the Blu-rays that I picked up. I found these at one Dollar Tree. Actually, my local Dollar Tree surprised the hell out of me. And she actually, I went there when they were closing one night. Not 10 minutes before they shut the door, but I got there about 30 minutes before they closed. And she said if I came back the next morning at around 10:30, she would be putting out the new stock. So I did. I came back the next morning about 10:45, and she was putting out the new Blu-rays. I saw most of the titles that I'd seen listed on like Blu-ray.com and DVD Talk, except for the Ernest movies again. But let's get right into the haul here. First up, I picked up The Tie That Binds. Okay, now let me explain. Bargain versus crap, right? One man's gold may be another man's crap. You maybe look at this and say crap. I look at this and I see a good, cheesy thriller. I'm a sucker, if you guys know me very well, I'm a sucker for these thrillers. Back in the early to mid-90s, thrillers seemed to be a very popular genre that Hollywood was putting out. Comedies and thrillers. And these are the kind of movies, that would come on at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on HBO or Cinemax. And let's see, who directed this? Wesley Strick. I haven't seen this one, but it stars Daryl Hannah and Keith Carradine, Moira Kelly. I used to have a crush on her. And Vincent Spano. So that should be kind of weird. But yeah, I love these cheesy thrillers. Next up, I got The War at Home, and this was directed by Emilio Estevez. I've always heard good things about this film, like it's a bit of a little gem, but I've never seen it. Always wanted to, and that's another thing about these movies being $1. And it's another reason, my criteria for picking it up. My number one criteria is, will I watch it? Is this something that I would say rent at Redbox? And the answer is yes, I would. This is something I would actually pick up and rent. So the only difference is it's cheaper than renting at Redbox, and you know, you can take it and trade it in. That's another thing. Maybe trade it in an FYE or Movie Stop, or hell, even sell at a pawn shop. You might even make a profit. We'll talk more about that later, though. Here's another one I've never seen, Last Dance with Sharon Stone. But the again, the premise intrigued me enough to go ahead and blind buy it, because again, at $1, I look at this as a rental, you know, and if I don't want to own it after that, then I'll trade it, sell it, whatever. Now, this next one, I was actually really happy to find. This is one that I was hoping to find, and that's Money for Nothing. This is kind of an underrated gem, or kind of a forgotten gem from the early 90s. This movie came out at a time when John Cusack's career was not like where it is today. John Cusack, you know, he's pretty much a household name. He had made the 80s movies, and he was, you know, struggling like a lot of the young actors from the 80s to make that transition into the 90s and into adulthood and more adult-oriented roles. And this was one of those first movies that he made that sort of made his career rebound. So I could be talking out of my ass here. I'm just, you know, remembering from a long time ago. So anyway, Money for Nothing. Hopefully it holds up from what I remember. Next up, I picked up Scenes from a Mall, just because it's got Woody Allen in it and it's got Bette Midler. Not the best movie, but again, starring Woody Allen, I've got to have it. There's some good banter back and forth, you know. It's somewhat reminiscent of a Woody Allen film, but he did not direct this one. So, next up, yet another cheesy thriller, Consenting Adults. Again, this is a movie that I would rent and watch, and I don't know why, but these are my guilty pleasure movies. These thrillers, I'm telling you, these movies like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Actually, this movie was directed by Alan J. Pakula, so this has got a, you know, it's got a good director attached to it. Other movies like Sleeping with the Enemy. That's a prime example of the kind of really cheesy thrill. I like Lifetime movies for women, basically. Okay. Is that light on? Okay. Next up, we have The Gun in Betty Lou's Handbag. And this is one that I mentioned when I made my Intel video. Kind of an not underrated, but a gem from the 90s. Again, it's funny, quirky, a screwball comedy. But yeah, looking forward to revisiting that. So that's it for the Blu-rays. That's all I picked up. There were other Blu-rays there that I had in my basket. But you know what? I put them back because I said, you know, I think I'm just buying these like The Marrying Man with Alec Baldwin. Now, I love Alec Baldwin, but I knew damn well I wasn't going to put that movie in. I never liked that movie, and I just, you know, again, bargain versus crap. Just because it's $1, am I going to buy it? Now, a lot of people may be going around, and I know for a fact there's somebody buying up all the Blu-rays and DVDs at my local Dollar Tree, and then I guess they're reselling them maybe to pawn shops or at a flea market or whatever. You know, and I guess it's a pretty good idea. You might be able to get a couple of bucks at a pawn shop. Then again, my feeling on the matter is, if I'm going to buy extra, it's because maybe I want to give one to a friend, or a friend has asked for one, or for trade or something like that. I'm more of the mindset, you know, let some other people find them. Don't just go in there and grab them all up. You know, we all secretly hate the person who does that. Even if they're, you know, it's America, you know, and you can do what you want. But my own personal belief is take what you want and leave the rest, you know. However, I did pick up 2 DVDs. Wait, there's more. Yes. And again, I put some back because they had a lot of interesting looking DVDs, but I just picked up a couple here. I picked this up, Aurora Borealis. Now, I have not seen this movie, so if you guys know anything, you can let me go. It's actually got a isolated music track, commentary, interview with the cast and crew, but really it was the premise that I was interested in, and it's got some actors: Donald Sutherland, Juliette Lewis, Louise Fletcher, some of my favorite actors. I'm not really a big fan of Joshua Jackson, but I'm interested to see how he is in this movie. I'm not exactly sure how old this film is. I'm thinking at least like 5 or 6 years old, but just really caught my eye. And again, for $1, good rental. Here's one that was a really good find, and that's Joe Louis, America's Hero Betrayed. Really interesting story. Have not seen this documentary. I'm a fan of documentaries. I'm a fan of HBO documentaries, and this is an HBO documentary. If you look on Amazon, I believe this is going brand new for $30 and used definitely not for $1. So this is really a deal if you guys can get your hands on this. So I thought this was a fantastic find. But anyway, folks, that is my Dollar Tree haul thus far. I may have another one. Tomorrow I'll probably swing by there and see if they have anything else out. If any of you guys living in the upstate or maybe western North Carolina, if you know of any Dollar Trees that have the Ernest movies, let me know. So that'll do her. I'm Crazy Jason, and thanks for stopping by my Wacky Emporium, baby.